Okay, so there's some small news tidbits out there, but they may be important to a team you cheer for. Connor Sherry is listed as week to week after a check on Friday, and they're kind of being evasive on what exactly is wrong with him because it's the NHL, so it's upper body, which could be anything really. Now, Sherry, of course, is a guy that they're kind of counting on among their many additions in Buffalo this year. So it'll be interesting to see A, how long he's out, and B, what kind of shape he is in when he comes back. Matt Hunwick is also out indefinitely with a neck injury, although they're not saying how this occurred or what's going on. So basically, if a guy went from Pittsburgh to Buffalo in the offseason, he's hurt right now. Nicholas Delorier of the Montreal Canadiens is out with a facial fracture after fighting Brandon Baddock of the New Jersey Devils, and he's out indefinitely. So the thing about fighting in the preseason, there's that risk. Delorier, of course, is in the first year of a 2-year deal that pays him a total of $1.9 million. Good fourth line guy, and they'll miss him while he's out. He does bring sort of that element to the game, and they'll miss it. I wanted to talk about George McPhee. So George McPhee brings in Vadim Shipachyov last summer, and the idea was that they were going to pay him $9 million over 2 years, and he was this fantastic 30-year-old out of the KHL who was going to be an excellent forward in the NHL, and they were really looking forward to it. And there were rumors tied to them with Gusev and as well Dadonov. The idea that they'd put that line together in Vegas and that could be a scoring line for them. It hasn't worked out that way because Shipachev, of course, lasted a total of 3 games in Vegas. 3. Scored 1 goal, was a +2. And McPhee at the time, he sends him to the minors and says it's because he didn't have to clear waivers. Then it was, we just don't have room in our roster right now. Then he came in and he played those 3 games, and at the end he sent back to the minors. He ends up getting fined by the team because he wouldn't report. It was ugly. And he ends up going home, and he said, they say one thing to your face, and then they say something else behind your back. McPhee basically confirmed Shipachev's criticism in an interview, where he said that in reality, Shipachev was off the team because he wasn't putting in the effort, and he wasn't proving that he really wanted to be part of the team. Now, you know what? I applaud McPhee for his honesty now, but it just makes the whole thing seem even more sketchy. Because the whole time, all the way through, it was, we just don't have room for him in the roster right now. We have guys that have to clear waivers, so we're going to make room for him and bring him in. This was the whole attitude the whole time. And now he's saying, no, he didn't show up for camp with the right attitude. Now, what McPhee's also saying is that other people outside the organization have applauded him for that, and that the idea was that there was no sense of entitlement. You know what I'm talking about? The guys who have the big money contracts and are assured of spots on an NHL team because they make the big money. And McPhee was saying the first year in Vegas, I don't care that we're an expansion team. If you don't come here and you're not willing to do the work and you're not committed to the team, you're out. And that helped the team. And it helped Gerard Gallant really get control of the locker room because these guys knew we have to do as we're told or we're out. And maybe that is a message that other teams could send to players on occasion. And I know there are definitely players out there who, if the NHL was like the NFL where there wasn't guaranteed money, I think there'd be a lot of guys working a lot harder, and you'd see a lot more guys getting cut. But yeah, Shipachev, they got rid of him. They nullified the contract, sent him home. He played well in the KHL after he went home, but it just did not work at the NHL level. I don't know if this telling the truth side thing now for McPhee makes him look worse or not. That's the thing I'm wondering. Does it actually make McPhee look worse? That he lied about why Shipachev wasn't playing. Was that for Shipachev or is that so he could trade him? And he's also revealed he had a trade worked out for Shipachev, but Shipachev had already decided to go home to the KHL. So that's interesting. We didn't hear that at the time either. The Hurricanes. If you have a Justin Williams jersey and you're mad that he got named captain and you don't have a C on your jersey, the Carolina Hurricanes will cover your cost until October 4th. Past that, I can assume that they won't cover it or Justin Williams will be traded. But I'm just kidding about the traded part. I think that's kind of a nice gesture that they're covering the cost of putting the C on your jersey if you want to get one. And yeah, so we'll see how many people take them up on that. I don't know how many people have Justin Williams jerseys. I don't think it would be a ton of people. Although now that he's captain, there may be more demand. Be an interesting stat to have just for the sake of having it. I want to talk a little bit about Jack Hughes. So Jack Hughes is 5'10", 161 pounds, and he is the latest American player to top the listings. One thing that I want to investigate is how long does Canada have before we're not the best country in the world with hockey anymore? And I know there are people in Europe saying that happened a while ago. So maybe I'll phrase it this way. How long is it until Canada is the second best country for producing hockey players in North America? And it's a matter of the Americans just having 10 times the population. It is a monster population. It is overwhelming Canada. And it's kind of what I think Canadians have always been kind of scared of, that eventually the Americans would surpass us at our own game. I don't mind it at all. I don't care where a guy plays from or where a guy comes from. If they play for a team I cheer for, I really could not care less. Jack Hughes, though, at 161 pounds, 5'10", now all I'm hearing is he's a lot like Patrick Kane because he's small, but that he does a lot of things on the ice that just stun everybody. What I liked was him on TSN yesterday, where they wanted him to go through his famous goal that everybody talked about from last year. They said, lead us through it, and he's kind of like, I don't want to. I've seen this goal so many times, and I've been asked to describe it so many times. I don't feel like doing it anymore. I just kind of did it. And that's exactly what he said while they showed the replay, the goal. I feel bad for the kid, I do, because I think the media thing is already a pretty bright spotlight on him, and it can get overwhelming at times. If you're 16, 17 years of age, I imagine it's frustrating. I also wanted to mention at the end of this, the NHL for a while, I'd be doing research for videos, various madness videos I'm doing, and I see links to pages on the NHL, and they're broken. And I've been very angry for a while saying the NHL website's broken. What they did was they moved all the records over to records.nhl.com. And there's so much information in there, so many pieces of information in there, so many video-worthy topics that I can come up with from the statistics on this site, that I highly recommend it to anybody else who really likes hockey stats, because there's a little bit of everything on that page, right from the beginning right until now. So it's a fun page to have. There were certain things I looked up last night that I was like, well, I wish I had this 2 months ago when I did that video. So there's a lot of fun stuff on there, and I will definitely be using it for researching purposes and just for fun too, because it's fun looking that sort of stuff up. But yeah, so there you go. There's the news of the day. What I've come up with since I did my review of last night's games and preview of tonight's games. And by review and preview, I mean just the basics. I understand that there are a lot of other guys who statistically may put up decent totals during the preseason. I will focus on rookies and guys who are looking to bounce back, or guys who may be on the fence. Are they going to make the roster? Are they not? So when they have a big night, I'll talk about it and speak and speculate on whether or not that makes them a choice to put on the roster, or if it doesn't really make a difference. The team's already got their minds made up. So there you go. Just some news and notes from today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.